Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain about Perceptron in machine learning. First we will see the definition. A Perceptron is the simplest supervised learning algorithm used for binary classification. Okay, so what is the meaning of Perceptron? A Perceptron is the simplest supervised learning algorithm. So please remember all of you. So Perceptron nothing but it is the supervised learning algorithm. So what is the meaning of supervised learning algorithm? In the supervised learning algorithm, we are going to use the labeled data. Okay, and it is used for binary classification. So what is the meaning of this binary classification? In binary classification, the data is going to classify in terms of two types. Okay, so binary means two. So we are going to classify the data into two types. Next we will see it is a type of artificial neuron model proposed by Frank Rosenblatt in 1957. Okay, so as per definition, Perceptron is the supervised learning algorithm and it is used for binary classification. It is a type of artificial neuron model and it is proposed by Frank Rosenblatt in 1957. Okay, so let us move into next step. So you see in Perceptron, first step is it takes multiple inputs and assign the weights. Okay, and the second point is computes a weighted sum and applies threshold value, and finally it produces binary output either 0 or 1. Okay, so as per Perceptron, what is going to be happen? First it will take the different inputs, okay, and it assigns some weights. So after completion of taking the inputs, assigning the weights, it is going to compute weighted sum and it applies some threshold value. Finally it produces the output as a binary which is called as zeros or ones. Okay, so one of the most important diagram for this Perceptron algorithm. So this is the main important diagram you have to write in the examination also. So this is the main important diagram. You can see here, this is called as a Perceptron diagram. So what is going to be happened in this this x1, x2, xn are called as input values, and this w1, w2, wn, these are called as weights. Okay, so when the inputs are given, we are going to multiply inputs with weights. So this is called as x1 w1, this is called as x2 w2, this is called as xn wn. So this is called what we say weighted sum. So in this what is going to be happen? w1 x1. So like this we can write here. So that is w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus wn xn. Okay, so there are n number of inputs are there. So we are going to multiply with weights. Finally we get some output. So please remember all of you, you are going to add something called as bias. So one of the most important factor, we need to add bias value. Okay, so after completion of this one, we are going to have activation function here, and finally we get the output which is in the form of classification. So this is called as Perceptron algorithm. Okay, this is the most important diagram for the examination point of view. So you see description, a Perceptron takes multiple inputs and multiplies them with weights and computes weighted sum, applies some activation function. So it is going to apply some activation function and finally it produces the binary output. So this is called as what we say Perceptron algorithm. So one of the most important diagram. We'll see. So what are the mean by these weights? So there are 4 and 5 different parameters are there. First one is called as inputs. So what is the meaning of inputs? So we can say something like x1, x2, so on up to xn are called as inputs. Inputs are the features. Okay, those are called as data values given to the perceptron to make a decision. Input affect the output only after multiplying with weights. One of the most important factor. Remember all of you, in the perceptron, first we are going to give the inputs. Okay, so every input should multiply with weights. So that is only affect the output. So this is called what we say inputs. Second one is the weights. So what is the meaning of weight? Weight represents the strength of the connection between units. So please note down all of you, one of the most important question. So here, what is the meaning of weight? Weight represents the strength. So weight represents the strength of connection between the units. So it is going to define the connection between the units. Okay, so we can represent weights by W1, W2, so on up to Wn. So third one is called as bias. Bias can be represented with B, and bias is a constant value. So it is a value that is added to the weighted sum in a perceptron to shift the decision boundary. Okay, it helps the model give the correct answer even when inputs are 0. So what is the main purpose of this bias? Bias is going to have some constant value added to the weighted sum to perceptron to shift the decision boundary. Okay, so in order to shift the decision boundary, so decision boundary, something like there is a line is there. So we are going to classify the data into two types na, one category and second category. So first category like this and second category like this. So this is called as decision boundary. So in order to make the data to shift outside the decision boundary, the perceptron, this bias will do some role. So it helps the model give the correct answer even when the inputs are 0. Okay, so fourth one is the weighted sum. So what is the meaning of weighted sum? Weighted sum is the total value obtained by, it is the total value obtained by multiplying each input with its weights and adding its bias. So already I told in the above. So W1 X1, you need to multiply weights and inputs, so on up to we need to add some bias value. So how to write this expression? This is something like a sigma I is equal to 1 to n. So Wi xi plus b. So this is nothing but it is going to accept weights multiply with inputs. So this is called as a weighted sum. So last one is the activated function. Activation function decides the final output of the perceptron. So what is the main goal of this activation function? It is going to decide the final output. So the key value, the keyword for this activation function is it is going to decide the final output of the perceptron. It converts numerical input into binary output. Okay, so if the z is greater than or equal to 0, the output is 1. If the z is less than 0, the output is 0. So please remember here z nothing but activation function. So we'll see now what is the perceptron learning algorithm. So one of the most important algorithm. So first what you have to do, you need to multiply the weights with inputs. Okay, so multiply inputs with weights and add some bias. So this is something like W1 X1 plus W2 X2 plus W3 X3 and so on plus B. Second one is the we need to apply activation function, and third one is the check error. Okay, so what is going to be happen? We are going to compare with the correct answer. If the wrong, then update the weights and bias. So what is going to be happen in this? You are going to give some inputs. We are going to add some bias value. You are going to get some output. You need to observe, you need to compare that answer with your answer, your original answer. If there is a no matching, what you have to do? Again we need to update the weights. So repeat until predictions become correct. Okay, so we need to repeat this until the predictions will become correct. So we'll see next one, types of perceptron. So there are two types of perceptrons are there. First one is called as single layer perceptron and second one is called as a multi-layer perceptron. So please remember all of you, one of the most important thing here. So single layer perceptron is having only one layer and multi-layer perceptron is having many layers. Okay, so it solves a simple problem. So it is used for only solve the simple problem. It is used to solve the difficult problems. So the example for single layer perceptron we can say AND gate, OR gate, and where we can use this multi-layer perceptron. This is the face recognition and speech recognition. Okay, so these are called as types of perceptrons. So mainly what are the advantages of this perceptron? Perceptron is very simple and easy to understand. Next, we are going to have fast training. So we can give fast training. So it needs less memory. It is good for binary classification. Okay. So what are the drawbacks of this perceptron? We cannot solve non-linear problems and it is sensitive to noisy data. So it's all about the perceptron learning algorithm. So one of the most important question. So this is the one of the most important diagram. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.